What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, I might have started off this video by saying we have a brand new casting announcement for Spider-Man 4, who seems like it might be the main villain. But then you would be completely warranted in saying back to me, yeah, but haven't you done that video twice already in the last 2 weeks? And both times we heard about this, they were completely different villains. And you'd be right. And you know what? It's the same case today. We have a brand new casting reveal from a trusted industry insider who goes on to theorize who it might be, and it's not any of the villains we've been talking about before. But there is one name in the mix that would sort of explain this all, and I'll tell you why it seems like this latest casting reveal, while not actually being the main villain, does actually confirm who the main villain is. We're breaking it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do. If you're into that kind of thing, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. If you want, stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so the latest, according to industry insider Daniel RPK, you guys can follow him over on RPK News, is that they are casting a male Asian in his 30s to 50s for Spider-Man 4 for a big role. And of course, he goes on to ask the question, could this be Mr. Negative? Now, obviously, the huge Mr. Negative MCU Easter egg has been the Feast organization that featured in both Far From Home and No Way Home that Aunt May worked at. That's his organization. So clearly, there's been some hints at him joining the MCU, and some of the earlier rumors for that original grounded level plot where we would possibly see the Vulture back and Scorpion also included Mr. Negative, which even led us to speculate here at the channel. It sort of sounded like they were trying to put together a Sinister Six. Now, obviously, a lot has changed in the last 6 months, undoubtedly with the script and the storyline itself, and now it's been announced to be Brand New Day, which incidentally, Mr. Negative had a part in that story. But it's the other villains we've been hearing about that are super curious, not really the makings of a Sinister Six with Mr. Negative alongside, say, the Chameleon and Spider-Queen, which again, if you haven't been keeping up with channels like mine, those are the other two names we've covered in the last couple of weeks, as revealed via casting grids and industry insiders as possible forerunners for the big bad in this film, and we just keep hearing new names. Now, the Chameleon could go a long way in explaining all of this, because the Chameleon could simply be impersonating these other villains. But keep in mind, and if they keep it true to the comics, he won't be able to steal the powers of the villains he's impersonating, and villains like Spider-Queen and Mr. Negative, they have pretty unique power sets. So while I want to believe that perhaps it's just the Chameleon is the big bad, sort of impersonating these other villains that we're hearing about being cast, I think it a lot more likely the case that Spider-Man Brand New Day might follow some of its comic counterpart and involve a ton of villains that might not necessarily be related, and especially if this is leading to Doomsday, a break in the multiverse of any kind, and becomes a multiversal film. And the door becomes wide open for several variants of different villains to show up in this film, but it doesn't paint a picture of a very cohesive story or explain how in the world they plan on resetting for the quote-unquote brand new day that sees Spider-Man all alone and forgotten from his loved ones. Now, when the Spider-Queen rumor kicked all of this off, I said in the video that we covered that villain, I actually loved that idea because it would be something completely different, but that video ended up doing very well, reaching outside of the community, and basically all the comments from people who watch the channel every day and not hated that idea. So I was an outlier thinking Spider-Queen might be a really cool and different villain, but I definitely have no interest in seeing the Chameleon again. He's just, to me, not that interesting of a villain. So of these three, Mr. Negative seems like the most obvious as far as excitement, something new and interesting to do with the film. And when you read the casting grid one to one, they sort of do line up. Now look, it's important to remember that with these casting grids, they are official, but there isn't a title for, say, a villain or a character attached to any role, so people don't know exactly who they're reading for, and well, when they get leaked, the public doesn't know exactly who they're casting for. It's just that, well, we've also been doing this for a while, and surely these villains look like who they are when they're casting. Of course, we could be wrong, but I at least want to take this time to speculate that a villain like Mr. Negative could also open the door to Simu Liu's Shang-Chi being a part of this project. Look, you know, Destin Daniel Cretton put a hold on other things like Shang-Chi 2 so that he could do this movie, but every Spider-Man movie involves at least one big Avenger given the sharing agreement between Sony and Marvel, and what better Avenger to include in this film alongside Spider-Man than Shang-Chi, since Destin Daniel Cretton is doing the movie, and having a villain like Mr. Negative is a perfect overlap for both Spider-Man and Shang-Chi, as he's classically been a villain of both of them in the comics, and Cloak and Dagger and a few others. Now keep in mind, we don't need Mr. Negative in order for Shang-Chi to appear in this film, and there is one enormous Easter egg from the multiverse that resides with Shang-Chi that we haven't had explained yet and could be the key to tying Spider-Man 4 into Avengers Secret Wars. That's of course Shang-Chi's 10 rings. This could be the film that explains it. You could have characters like Chameleon and or Mr. Negative going after the 10 rings for themselves, also at the same time using this movie to explain what in the world the beacon was and how they tie into Avengers Secret Wars. That's the kind of story tie-in we're expecting any of the real estate that's left for Marvel outside of Thunderbolts with Fantastic Four and Brand New Day for them to use it to start explaining these key elements. There's not much film left for them to get to any and all of this. And of course, that sounds a lot more like Shang-Chi 2 or a Shang-Chi story than it does a Spider-Man story, but it doesn't mean that they couldn't fit that in the film with as many things as they're working on right now. I think nothing is off the table for just how crazy Spider-Man 4 could be. But look, we are getting ahead of ourselves, and because Spider-Man Brand New Day doesn't start filming for another 2 or 3 months, there are going to be a lot more in the way of casting reports, both unofficial and rumored, between now and then. So if none of this is piquing your interest, don't worry, we're still not 100% what's really happening yet with this movie. I still am very interested to see which direction Marvel will go and what ends up, if there is, being the tie-in to Doomsday. It seems hard to believe that there wouldn't be, but you guys let me know all your thoughts down below. Mr. Negative, are you feeling him as the villain in Spider-Man 4 more than Chameleon and Spider-Queen? Because I know you weren't. And if you're not feeling Mr. Negative, who do you think should be the villain of Spider-Man Brand New Day? And don't say Dr. Doom. Yeah, we all think that. It just doesn't seem likely that's going to be the case. I'm all ears as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel. All you have to do to be entered to enter for any future giveaways, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos the same way we're doing here, live with my voice in the winning comments shown on screen when there is one. So please be safe and vigilant on my channel, really any channel on YouTube. Remember, anybody can grab a content creator's photo, claim to be them, and try to spam you with comments getting your information on a third-party app like WhatsApp. It's all just a ruse to try to charge you for a prize that doesn't exist. Please try to remember, no YouTuber, no influencer, period, will ever charge you for shipping if you should win a prize. That's not how it works. Just report those comments directly to YouTube. They are very good about deleting those accounts, and you've done everybody all over the platform of service. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. Find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, under the name Allfires. And while I would sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.